Holy shit! Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also follow all the information I have in the description box as well as the comment section. Also like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now before I get started with this review, let me send a shout out to Metro Health DC, which offers multidisciplinary healthcare and integrated healthcare. If you're looking for a clinic that will serve your medical needs, behavioral health needs, social needs, also needs like HIV and PrEP, call Metro Health DC right now. And there's a form in the description box in the comments section. Click that link to fill out a form if you're interested in becoming a new patient with Metro Health DC. Join us because you will get the best roundabout care, and we're all about moving our community forward. So reach out to Metro Health DC today. Sorry for the stumble. Also, let me give a shout out to GMHC, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative. If you're in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to the GMHC crew for a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call and make a same-day appointment and come to our location to pick your kit up. Also, if you're interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention, reach out to the GMHC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of KRSTV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, reach out to my Patreon today, Black Diamonds, because in darkness we still shine. For $5 a month, you get all of my YouTube content, as well as videos that are specifically for the Black Diamonds that will not appear on YouTube. So subscribe to my Patreon today. Also, check out my YouTube check out my YouTube partner, BK WorldTube. Oh, I'm sorry, it's late. BK WorldTube, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like Love and Hip Hop, to the haves and the have-nots. So after this review, click that link, in the description box of the comment section to check out BK WorldTube today. We're gonna get through it, y'all. Forgive me, y'all, that I'm stumbling. It's late, and I gotta go to work in the morning, but I really want to get this done. So, I'm here for y'all. Now, this is The Oval Season 2, Episode 3, and the name of this episode is Wicked Things. And just like I did in the intro, holy shit! This episode was crazy, and that ending, I'm like, that little motherfucker. Let me begin, y'all. The episode picks up where Victoria has found Jean under Jason's bed. She talks to the housekeeper. She tells her no one is to go into that room, and pretty much the housekeeper tells her that Laura was in that room, and before she had her heart attack. So Victoria is adding everything up. That's why Laura had the heart attack, because she saw Jean under the bed. And she finds out that Laura is at St. Rose Hospital. And I'm like, what is up with her wearing this white dress with these pink heels? Like, what's going on, Victoria? I mean, the pink shoes were nice, but They don't go with that outfit. Sorry. No. So then she goes and finds Hunter, and she lets him know, we have a problem. It's in Jason's room. And pretty much, Hunter notices the smell as well, and she tells him to look under the bed. And of course, they had their banter going back and forth because the two of them hate each other. So eventually, he does look under the bed, and he's just as shocked as she was. And he's like, "Who the hell is that?" And she says, "It's Gene." And then she says, "Oh my God, he graduated." And it was like, "What?" She says, "I told you that this damn boy needed some help, but you didn't want to do that because you were too worried about your damn image." And then he was like, "I know your ass ain't talking. You didn't want him to get committed because you're trying to keep up your image as well as the image of your family." So I'm like, both of y'all ain't shit. Both of you aren't shit. So you mean to tell me you knew that this child had these psychopathic serial killer instincts, and y'all have allowed him to run havoc and put everybody at risk? All for image. Y'all disgusting. Like, so y'all are more at fault for Jason's antics than he is. Because something is wrong with Jason. And they know that. And they haven't done a damn thing about it. But try to send him to grandma. And we saw how that played out. Because she all talking about it's okay because my mom will get him in line. I'm like, really? We saw something a little different, Victoria. In due time, you're going to find out what really went down. So then she pretty much decides that they got to figure out a way to get rid of the body. Nobody can know about this because they're going to protect their child, of course. So they find Jason's trunk, and they're going to stuff Gene's body inside this trunk. But trust, something else gets revealed in that trunk, and I'm going to get to it. So let's keep it moving. So then we got Donald and Sam. Sam pretty much comes in, to chat with Donald. Pretty much he asked about Miss Laura, and Sam tells him that, Miss Laura had a heart attack and all of that. But then he pretty much says that, as far as Agent Yuma and Max, how come I wasn't told about it? And he was like, well, it was top secret, but it was handled, And he's like, and I heard that they were fighting over a woman, and then also what the press secretary said. And then Donald was like, look, the woman was off her meds because, he's pretty much trying to save face and shit. And he's pretty much saying that, well, from the looks of things, Sam, things aren't looking too good if your agents are going off like this. I'm like, you got some fucking nerve trying to flip this on Sam when you're that damn crazy man that you fucking is doing all the bullshit. I'm like, Donald ain't shit. And it just goes, I'm like, and I'm going to talk about him and that crazy thing, Cal, later, because that whole S&M situation is just gross. And then I was just like looking like, that damn Donald is an evil bitch. He really is. And then he was saying, so then Sam was like, well, have you reached out to the wives? And he was like, oh, that's being taken care of. And he was like, by who? He said, by Cal. He's like, that won't be a good idea. And then Donald's like, well, why is that? I'm like getting all defensive because, Cal's his man. And Sam was like, Max is Cal's antagonist. So I'm pretty sure his wife don't want to hear from no damn Kyle. So he's like, okay, fine. But then he says, I was also planning on going to the hospital to check on Max. And he was like, oh, no, you are not allowed to go to the hospital. And he's like, I said that's an order. You're not allowed to go to the hospital. I was like, got shit to hide. One of the things is because Max ain't even there. And he knows that. So then after he gets out, after he leaves the office, after he leaves Donald's office, he calls Priscilla, saying that he's sorry about everything and that he can't, and that he got some things to do before he gets home, but that they need to talk. And I'm like, little do you know, Priscilla has turned into Blue Contrail and done hit you up style because she done gave $25 to old Nancy's trifling ass. And then we see that he gets intel on the wives, and that was the last. Then like Sam went on. Then we get the scene where Barry and Sharon are literally going back and forth at each other because they use the money to bail him out of jail. And he pretty much says that he, talked to Ruth, and how the hell was she able to walk out of the police station like that? I'm like, the Rackadoochies got police officers that are a part of the cult. And then they're pretty much saying they pretty much going back and forth, talking about the money. He's saying it's hers, she's saying it's his, and they're just blaming each other over the money. And then he was like, so tell me, are you selling drugs, Sharon? I was like, wow. It's just like that whole damn money has just become a problem for the both of them. So then we get a scene with Victoria and Hunter. Sam comes up to them because I think Sam was also getting intel about what was going on, about the plane. And he pretty much says that, your mother's plane had to make an emergency landing in Texas. The kids are fine, but your mother is deceased from a heart attack. Now damn well we saw Jason choke her ass out. Like, yeah, trick! Like, choked her ass up on out of here. And then they said that the plane had a mechanical issue. No, Jason's old crazy loony ass pulled the emergency latch and the window popped out. But then they said that the kids are coming back. So pretty much they said that the kids are fine and they're being held at the police station, but SS can make arrangements to have them fly back home. So pretty much, Sam was like, I see that there's an odor coming from your son's room. Do you want me to send somebody up? And Hunter was like, no, we're going to make our son clean it himself. So that was the end of that. Next, I'm gonna talk about Bobby and Lily. We see them have a moment. She's looking at the stars or whatever, and she's asking like, so have you brought anybody else here? And he's like, no. He's kind of like lets her know that, look, there's just some things you don't want to know about me. And she's saying that, so what? This is a place where you bring your women's? And he was like, no, this is where I bring men. And of course she looks away. He's like, not like that, Lily. I'm like, boo-boo, not everybody's gay, honey. Chill. And he said, no, bad men. I torture them, to get the truth. And if I don't get the truth, they never leave. So he pretty much says that I'm not a good person, to the wrong people. And next thing you know, we see somebody pull up in a station wagon, and it's Diane. So of course, Lily and Diane have a moment. She's like, Lily, what the hell are you doing here? And he's like, look, we need to, so what's going on? And she's like, I'm not talking to you in front of her. She's Donald's wife. And she's like, yeah, and he tried to kill me. She's like, what? I'm like, just a lot you don't know, honey. So we go inside and we see that Max is actually sedated. And she's pretty much, and then all of a sudden, of course, Lily feeling some kind of way because that damn Bobby done gave her that good old vitamin B. Vitamin Bobby, baby. So, of course, she looking at Diana was like, so how you two know each other? And he's like, we go way back. And, of course, Diane, since Diane's a bitch, Diane just called it, oh, we had sex a few times. Yeah, he's a sex kitten with a big package. Vitamin B! But she says, but after a while I lost interest. And you can tell that damn Lily felt some kind of way. I'm like, boo-boo. I mean, you saw how the way he snatched you up in that airport bathroom. You think you're the only one that got that vitamin B treatment? You think you're the only one that can get that vitamin B12? Child. So then we see that Bobby goes to Max, and he pretty much tells Max, give me the gun. Because he knew Max had a gun on him. And you can tell that Max is kind of, sedated or whatever, but he's alert. And then all of a sudden, Max gives him the gun, and Darlene goes to try to help him get up, and as soon as he gets up, he literally puts Diane in a chokehold, and him and Bobby have a standoff where Bobby has a gun, and he's telling her to let her go. And Diane is even talking to him like, look, please don't hurt me. We're doing this to help you. We're not your enemy. And Lily goes to show him the text that I know you didn't do anything to Denise, and I know you didn't do anything to to Yuma. I know that was all a lie, and I know you're being set up. And we see that Lily shows him the text where pretty much it said everything of what Diane said. But then Bobby wasn't here for it. Bobby was like, you're safe, but I will kill you if you don't let her go. And he's pretty much telling Max to let her go, and eventually he does let Diane go. And pretty much that was the end of that. So then we get another scene with Victoria and Hunter. Victoria is kind of like in shock or whatever. And he was like, so she's just like, I'm just surprised. I can't believe she's dead. And Hunter's like, yeah, I think you may need some time. And he was like, please, I hated that bitch. I'm glad she's dead. I wish my father was next. I was like, well, damn, bitch, say how you really feel. And then he was like, we're gonna have, and then she was like, we're gonna have to make an announcement. And Hunter's like, okay, fine, I'll talk to the press secretary. And of course, that damn Victoria got pissed off about that because the new press secretary is Ellie, and she already knows what's going on there. And she's like, what is up with you and all these women, Hunter? And he was like, why not have all these women? Shit. But then she starts toying with the thing. They said they had a state emergency on the plane. What the hell happened that they had a state emergency? Because she knows her mother never falls asleep on that plane. She probably knows that for herself because she probably flew on that same plane when her mother sent her to that damn boarding school. So she knows something ain't right. And then she actually gets a call from Jason. So when Victoria and Jason on the phone, and he says that they took Gail, Grandma arranged for something. So as soon as we got off the plane, they took Gail. And she says that, where did they take her? She says, don't worry, she's being handled. And then he's like, well, she's like, well, so tell me what happened. So of course, all this she's doing knowing that Jason has killed Jean and they found the body. And he said, well, the window broke, on the plane. And she's like, Jason, there's a weird odor coming from your room. And he's like, well, it's nothing. It's just dirty clothes or whatever. And she's like, well, do I need to get housekeeping? He's like, oh, no. I'll clean it when I get back. And he's coming back in the morning. She's like, well, I'll see you in the morning. He's like, yes, you will. I'm like, oh, so so you got a thing for killing women. So it's like, so is your mom next on the list? Because clearly we're seeing that this is a damn serial killer for real. Lily called that shit last season. And we're literally seeing it play out. Now, Barry and Sharon finally arrive home. Richard was doing the absolute most. He done had the locks changed. He's ironing his clothes because he's going to go back to work. Sharon tries to help and he just snaps at her and shit. And he's just in his feelings. Like, he's literally become an asshole because of this whole situation with Nancy. And then he pretty much tells Barry, I apologize to you, son, for the man I'm about to be. And pretty much he said that he saw Ruth, and that Ruth had pressed charges on him or whatever, and that I have to go to court. But why should I have to go to court for custody when I already have it? Like, what the hell is this? And he said that, look, you need to play this cool. You need to talk to your Uncle Sam, because Sam has connections. He can figure out something. And then he was like, where's Mom at? He's like, I don't know, and I don't care. He's like, really? He's like, look, don't you need to go upstairs and deal with your situation? And I'm like, yo, Richard is really losing it. And he just like, I want to know who the father is. And then like Barry was like, what good would that do if you know that? What are you gonna solve? I mean, personally, I think she do need to tell him, because he has every right to know. I mean, you was fooling around on him. You might as well tell him who you was screwing, because you had a whole damn baby and you hid it. I mean, pretty much he said that, you know what the hell I'm going through. You know what you went through with Sharon. But he said, but this is different. She hid this shit for years. I'm like, you got a point there, but Richard, don't take it out on every damn body. It ain't everybody's damn fault that Nancy's a toxic trick who had a baby on you. Chill the fuck out. Alright, so then we see Priscilla. She's leaving voicemails on Sam's phone, and because Sam got a lot going on, so Sam ain't allowed to talk to her. But then she calls this guy named Alonzo, who works in Secret Service, with Sam, and she's asking whereabouts about Gene, asking him to look at the video footage and tell her what's going on. I'm like, so what's really going on between you and Alonzo, Miss Priscilla? Yeah, inquiring minds like to know what's really going on with this, because pretty much he was like, and you remember, right? He was like, yeah, I remember, don't tell Sam. But he said that, the last video footage is seeing Gene going to the residence area, and in the residential area, there's no cameras. But he said it's strange because, we see Miss Laura going into a stretcher, and it was coming from the residential area. But there's no trace of Gene ever leaving the residential area, and she never checked out. So she's like, visually, like, Priscilla's like, what the hell is going on here? Something ain't right. Yeah, damn right it isn't. So then we get this old scene with Donald and Kyle. He doesn't know where Diane is, and that of course they took Max. And pretty much Donald's like, I can see that you're worried. He's like, hell, I mean, wouldn't you be? I mean, but he's like, so pretty much that damn Donald was like, well, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. That bitch gotta die. Talking about Diane and shit. And then pretty much they discussed, Maud being dead. And he was like, this changes the dynamic of everything. And then he was like, well, since your wife is not here, you think I can get my key back? So that damn Donald starts dangling the keys. He's like, get on your knees and work for it. And literally, since Kyle is a horny little slut, literally got down on his knees and started blurping on Donald's meat. And Donald, ooh. I'm like, y'all some trifling ass fools. I swear. They deserve each other because they both evil as hell. Then we get this crazy ass scene between Alan and Ellie. And I have to admit though, Alan was looking good in them boxers, baby. Don't judge me. Alan looked good. Alan pretty much, wants to dance and wants to get it in with Ellie. Ellie's like, oh, I'm not in the mood. I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep. Because, she's being hounded. She did all that shit to be the press secretary. And now all of this shit is coming at her for being the press secretary. And not only that, Donald as well as Victoria are bullying the shit out of her. So she doesn't want to, she just wants to go and take a shower, but then she goes in the room and sees an actual ring on the bed, And this damn Alan done proposed to marry her. I'm like, really, dude? But it's clear that Alan is definitely insecure. And then all of a sudden, she turned down his proposal. This motherfucker did like a 180 and gets all aggressive and even damn near violent. You know, because he literally grabs her and shoves her against the cabinet and slaps her and shit. And I'm like, wow. So, like, Alan definitely got some anger issues for real. But I'm like, but Ellie, you shouldn't have played that game. You know, you went at you fucked the president, and of course that's still playing in his damn head. You know, because they've been together for 2 years, they've been living together, and of course he's mad that she rejected his proposal. He's like, at one point you were ready to get married, now you don't want to get married? What the fuck is this? And he literally just, all that built up rage, he just lashed out on Ellie and slapped the shit out of her. And I was like, Ellie, girl, you better get the hell out of there while you still can. So then we get the last scene. Victoria and Hunter are literally cleaning out the trunk so they can put Jean's body in it. And what did they find? A bloody sword. Now, I said last season, you find the sword, you find the killer. So this means that Jason was the one that cut Denise's head off. And I'm like, this motherfucker is literally killing a whole bunch of motherfuckers. He done did some shit while he was governor. He done pretty much killed Jean. Now we found out he killed Denise. Done killed his damn grandmother. I'm like, damn. You ain't gonna be satisfied till you kill every damn woman you know. But, as I said, I don't just blame Jason. I blame Hunter and Victoria, because you knew that this damn boy had problems, and yet you allowed him to run free. And look what he's doing. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts. But yeah, I'm so here for this damn season because so much shit is going down. So until next time, everybody, take care.